Hello, Hazel Park. I'm Mayor Mike Webb. I just want to bring a little information to you about 2020. It was definitely a trying year for everyone on the planet, and as well in Hazel Park was no different. The COVID-19 pandemic and the lockdowns that accompanied it caused many changes to how we live our lives and do business. Some of us lost family and friends to this disease. Others lost their job, closed their business, and suffered economic hardship. Many have worked at home and learned from home. Others serve as essential workers, bravely carrying on, making sure their fellow humans were healthy, well-fed, and protected. I am pleased to report that the City of Hazel Park rose to this occasion, and despite the pandemic, continued to make great progress to move forward and improve the quality of life and protect our city's future. Hazel Park remains one of the hottest communities in the city of Detroit. Our real estate values are continuing to grow at a healthy rate, and we are regularly featured in the media as an example of a community on the rise. A community that has risen above it all and is now a diverse, vibrant place to live and start a family like we all have, and we all should be proud of our city. Thank you.
Hello, Hazel Park. I'm here with one of our newer council members, Councilman Mike McFall. Mike has made quite a splash in the Hazel Park City Council since he was elected in 2019, and he's been very instrumental in playing a leadership role in retaining our businesses throughout this terrible pandemic that we've had to endure with COVID-19. I really have to compliment him on the work that he's done with a committee that he basically created himself called Main Street Hazel Park. Mike created this committee, and then he affiliated it with the Main Street program through Oakland County, which is a national program that I'll let him talk to you more about. But his hard work has been very instrumental in saving many segments of our business community that have been struggling during the COVID-19 pandemic. Mike, did you want to talk a little bit about Main Street Hazel Park and what motivated you to form this very important committee and how it got started?
Well, it got started initially as downtown Hazel Park. I wanted to make sure that our businesses and our community was well publicized outside of the city, so that people knew what we had here, what we had to offer business-wise, and also outside entrepreneurs knew that we were open for business if they were looking to relocate or open up a business here. Well, one of the biggest things that we did was partnering with Main Street Oakland County. Each Main Street community in Oakland County was provided a platform, a crowdsourcing platform, to raise funds to actually help our businesses that were struggling during the pandemic and the shutdown. So we actually, for being such a small community, we actually raised the most money out of all the Main Street communities in Oakland County. One of the other things that we were able to do was work with the county to get PPE so that the businesses, when they did reopen, they were doing it safely for their employees and for their customers. I'm looking forward to getting back to some normalcy as best as we possibly can and continuing the work that we've done, because Hazel Park has continued to move forward, whereas other communities may have stopped. The pandemic stopped their momentum. It did not stop ours.
What's up, Hazel Park? I'm City Council member Luke Londo, brand new appointee to the Hazel Park City Council. In the last 2 months, I've really had a pleasure getting to know a lot of you and finding out what is important to our residents of Hazel Park. In addition to that, I did just pass my very first ordinance, which is a human rights ordinance. The ordinance provides protections on the basis of sexual orientation, gender identity, and gender expression. And in the coming months, I am looking forward to identifying additional areas for transparency, as well as continuing to talk to you about how I can best serve you. Now, spring also means it is time to revisit our Parks and Recreation. So I'm very excited to be joined by our Director of Parks and Recreation, Serene Papakian. I recently was at the Hazel Park Community Center, and I noticed that the building had received some upgrades. Could you tell us a little bit about what those were, as well as upgrades at other places across the city?
Sure. So the City of Hazel Park was lucky enough to receive federal funding through the CARES Act to make facility upgrades to help prevent the spread of COVID-19. This included at the community center the upgrade of flooring in 3 different rooms inside of the community center, as well as plumbing upgrades. The plumbing upgrades were also done at the Hazel Park Ice Arena, and we also received water bottle filling stations at both facilities, again to help prevent the spread of COVID-19.
I'm glad you mentioned COVID-19 because that was difficult for a lot of populations across the city of Hazel Park, especially our seniors who rely on city transportation to go places. Could you tell us a little bit about how the Parks and Recreation Department stepped up to continue providing for our seniors?
Sure. We at the city of Hazel Park treat our seniors as, first-class citizens, and we know the struggle that they were going to go through with isolation and not being able to get to various vital appointments such as doctor's appointments, hygiene appointments, and grocery stores. So we continued to operate throughout the COVID-19 pandemic to be able to ensure to our residents that we were able to provide the services that they need.
Now it looks like youth sports are going to be back this summer. Could you tell us a little bit about the Quad City League and what that means for our kids across Hazel Park?
Sure, we're very excited to be able to offer our youth sports again. Our Quad City League is the league that we are involved in, and this includes the cities of Ferndale, Oak Park, and Pleasant Ridge. In our upcoming seasons, we will be able to offer soccer, and we're looking forward to baseball this summer.
I assume our events are going to be back up. Could you tell us what we can expect this year, especially this summer?
Yes, we will be having upcoming events this summer that we look forward to with our cooperative partners such as Oakland County Parks, the American Red Cross, and Hazel Park Youth Assistance.
One of the things that I'm most proud of is the city's partnership with the Hazel Park Promise Zone. Hazel Park, again, is a leader in making sure that every student that lives in the Hazel Park School District and attends Hazel Park schools has an opportunity to go to college for at least 2 years. The Hazel Park Promise Zone will serve as the funder of last resort. If we can't find you any other money to use to go to school, the Hazel Park Promise Zone will pay an amount equal to 2 years of tuition at a community college to enable those recent graduates to attend college. So there's no reason why anybody who lives in the Hazel Park School District and goes to Hazel Park schools can't find the money to go to college. We're extremely proud of that, and we're always looking for ways to expand the Promise Zone and do more for those students in our community. We now have a college success advisor that will work with new college students to enable them to be very successful when they go to college, because the transition from high school to college can be difficult. So we're constantly looking for new ways to provide additional support for those students. So again, just another cool benefit of living in Hazel Park and being part of this amazing community. And I'm especially proud with the way that we've been able to attract new businesses to our community. Obviously, the most visible new development in our city is the Tri-County Commerce Center located over at DeQuinder and 10 Mile. This $80 million plus 3-building complex is owned by Ashley Capital, and they've been able to attract some amazing tenants to the city of Hazel Park. While other levels of government talk about building a green economy, here in Hazel Park, we're actually making that happen. 2 of the tenants at the Tri-County Commerce Center, Akasol and LG, are building electric batteries that will power the electric vehicles of today and tomorrow. Here in Hazel Park, we're pleased that we're part of that green future. Also located in that sprawling complex are other high-tech companies like Dakota Integrated Systems and Bridgewater Auto Interiors, Hilux, and many other first and second tier auto suppliers that will bring and are bringing many jobs to this region. Many of those jobs are held by Hazel Park residents. And these cool high-tech companies at Ashley Capital aren't the only exciting businesses we have here in Hazel Park. We're also home to Exelterra, an amazing company that we featured in some of our State of the Cities in the past. This company uses patented technology to assist in agricultural growth and also uses that same technology to clean up polluted areas. They have a drill that they manufacture here in Hazel Park, and in honor of our city, they named the drill Hazel. So there are Hazel drills working across the globe to ensure that people are fed and that polluted areas are cleaned up. I think that's a really cool thing that's happening here in the city of Hazel Park. At every city council meeting, it's become a running joke that I say Michigan's system of municipal finance is fundamentally broken. And there's a reason that I say that, and that reason is because it is so clearly true. The city of Hazel Park and other fully mature, built-out cities in Michigan face a very tough financial situation because of Michigan's structure with property taxes and municipal finance. The state of Michigan has disinvested in cities in Michigan over the past 2 decades, and the result has been Michigan is dead last in terms of municipal finance across the country. So we're working with the Michigan Municipal League and our representatives in Lansing to try and make some changes to the interaction between Headley and Prop A. Many of you are seeing the increase in marijuana-related businesses that we're seeing here in the city of Hazel Park. There's an important reason why we have opened the door for these businesses, and that reason is that the city of Hazel Park is facing an increase in our pension obligations to the Michigan Employee Retirement System of over $1 million per year. That's a very large amount of money for a city our size to see their expenses increase. So we have to do everything that we can to be able to pay for that increased cost. One of these things that we've done is to invite marijuana businesses into the city. Well, not everyone appreciates those types of businesses in the community. Let me assure you the city of Hazel Park has already received many benefits from these establishments. First of all, these establishments help us generate revenue. It's critically important that the city of Hazel Park generate additional revenue because we're getting a bill for an extra $1 million a year every year from the Michigan Employee Retirement System, the entity that manages the city of Hazel Park's pensions, to maintain our pension obligations. These obligations are not something the city of Hazel Park can shirk. If we were to fail to meet those obligations, the city of Hazel Park would be sued and a judgment levy would be levied against every property taxpayer in the city of Hazel Park to pay for those obligations. So it's critically important that the city of Hazel Park find a way to meet those obligations. And I'm here right now with Mayor Pro Tem Andy LeCureaux. Andy's been on the Hazel Park City Council since he was first elected in November of 2001. He was part of the long council that included Jack Lloyd, Jan Parisi, Jeff Keaton, Mike Webb, who's our current mayor, and of course Andy himself. It was the longest serving intact city council in Hazel Park's history, and we did have to deal with a few issues during the course of that time frame, didn't we?
Didn't know if we were going to survive from year to year, and it's always been a financial struggle, but the residents and the team and we navigated the storm. Well, as a lifetime member of the Libertarian Party, ending the war on drugs has been one of the issues of focus for decades, and myself personally, I probably have advocated financially for reform of marijuana laws for probably 30 years. Never really imagined what it might look like or what might come of it or if it would ever actually happen in my lifetime. And so when the voters of Michigan passed the proposal in 2008, I looked at it as a possibility for economic development. These businesses would spur on, and it's been proven in our experience, they will bring other businesses here. They will redevelop buildings that are derelict, out of use, you lived out their useful life, and there has been a great deal of redevelopment because of this. And that's what I looked at in 2009 when it was just the medical marijuana. Now, right now, we've reached our limit. We're not taking more applications on licenses for any of the marijuana businesses, and we're focusing on getting them open.
My name is Alyssa Sullivan, and I am a Hazel Park City Council member, and I'm here today with Chief Buchholz of the Hazel Park Police Department. So during the pandemic, in addition to the high-risk response team effort that we kind of came together with our new judge as well to establish here in Hazel Park, how do you think the officers handled the change in the way that policing works now? Do you feel that there has been a significant change in the way that policing happens during a pandemic, or in the current political climate? How do you feel your position and our officers are addressing that?
It's changed a lot. It's a big change, and the jail diversion program is something to get used to, but I think they've responded well. We're out there, these young guys want to go out there and get the bad guys, that kind of thing, and so it's changed a little bit, but they're adapting well. We want to promote community engagement, and so trying to get them out there all the time, talking to more people as they can, going into different businesses, saying hi to people out when they're driving around, that kind of thing. That's what we want to do.
That's awesome. I know that many communities follow a bit more of a reactive protocol, and I feel that Hazel Park is a bit more proactive, whereas we put policy in place and we put services in place, social services like our Hope Not Handcuffs that we established a few years back, and then now our high-risk response team. How do you think that makes your job easier, or can you talk about how you feel that affects it? I think it makes your job easier, but it might not.
Yeah, when I became chief, that was one of my goals, is to update our policies and get online. So little by little, the bigger ones we're addressing, and like our use of force, response to resistance. We've updated that, and we continue to update. The LeCureaux system that we use has helped us tremendously. It used to be we type up everything and handwrite acknowledgments, that kind of thing, and it's a software-based program, and it's just making it easier to update and make the changes that are happening so quickly now. As far as working with the city manager, council, there's been a lot of communication, the other department heads, and we all talk to each other, and it really works out great. The Hazel Park family that Ed always talks about couldn't be said in a better way, because I do feel this is a family. We communicate like a family, and it works great. Yeah. Ed's got tons of experience, and that's helped me with questions I've had along the way. Even though I've been here 23 years, it's taking this chief's position is definitely different.
Well, there you have it, Hazel Park, the 2021 State of the City Address. I want to thank the mayor and the city council for their help and assistance, as well as my outstanding department heads and all of the city employees who work so very hard every day to bring you the best possible city of Hazel Park. There's some amazing things that are happening here in the city of Hazel Park. We have high-tech companies like LG and Akasol that are building the new green economy for our country's future. We have high-tech companies like Exelterra that are over at Chernobyl cleaning up radiation from the earth and the air from one of the worst environmental disasters in humanity's history. We have cool restaurants like Mabel Gray and Frame that are the envy of all of our surrounding communities. And we're working very hard to bring even more businesses to Hazel Park. Our property values are continuing to increase. We have new housing being built all over the place, and we've got the lowest crime rates in our city's history. There's a lot to be proud of, but there's still a lot more to do. Thank you all for being part of the city of Hazel Park. I look forward to working with everyone to build the best Hazel Park possible. Thank you.